Hey guys, my name's VR Joji. Just a small time streamer, and it's my first video, but I feel it's something that is pretty important right now with everything that's going on in politics and with countries, with the pandemic, with everything going on. And I felt it was important to go over right now, especially with a lot of my friends I've talked to or I've seen what's happening or seen how they're feeling, and wanted to bring to light, especially with in my community, my Discord with gamers in specific, and a lot of gamers I feel right now are either disheartened or troubled or just kind of feeling sad right now, and I don't blame them with everything going on. So I was gonna go over three main points and why I feel a lot of gamers are kind of feeling that way, kind of gloomy and down, and I'm gonna end it on one positive note. So I have three reasons on why we can be feeling this way, and if you're at that rock bottom, we're gonna end it with one point on how to make it feel better, especially for the people out there that maybe not aren't feeling the same as someone that's taken it like as deeply. So the first one is like the first main point I kind of want to highlight is with everything going on, you want to be aware and limit your interaction with encounters with hurtful or toxic people. Because, every once in a while someone gets mad, someone yells, someone cusses. They say, maybe they comment on your gaming and it's not the nicest. So I'm not saying avoid those people, but avoid the encounters with them. And, if someone is more hurtful or in words toxic than they other friends, then maybe you want to play less competitive games or something with them. But that's just kind of the main point. I'm kind of break it down a little bit. So now the kind of going off that, like, don't purposely join a community or a group that the experience is going to be negative on your mental health. I'm not saying that, if they're angry or something, don't join them. If it's going to affect how you feel, maybe join the friend group. Maybe if it's like, even if it's not a game you're playing, join a friend group that laughs or jokes about it or post memes or something. And then when they're cool, when like you want to play that competitive game, just remember, you're gonna be stepping into somewhere that maybe won't have you feeling as good. So, everyone has bad days and stuff like that where they're mad and angry. So don't throw them under the bus just yet. But just mentally prepare yourself for what's coming up if you're gonna be in that Valorant match with that one guy who's just really angry all the time. Try to limit it for your own good, because at the end of the day, you're the one that can take care of you. And then now this one is especially when I was talking to my friends, this one's for the girls out there because you guys get it pretty rough too. If you're gonna be in that game or that match or that Discord with, and you're just not really way out of it, you're gonna be with that one person, that one group, or you're gonna encounter those group of people that are hurtful and toxic either on purpose or just because they're having a bad day. Don't take it to heart. Don't let that 15 minutes of bad experience wreck what could be another 120 minutes of laughs and memes and fun and W's and frags or clips or highlights. Don't let that 15 minutes take away from your next 120 because that's your time. So kind of roll with the punches, water off a duck's back. Just remember it's not permanent, it's not forever. And if it looks like it's gonna stay around, switch to something else that for your mental health and your support is gonna be good. And with that, you can't just avoid the bad. You can't just avoid the toxicity. Be that positivity you want to see in your games. If that enemy is nailing those headshots in Valorant or Siege or Quake or CSGO or, any competitive shooter or something, or that one person's beating you in Minecraft Hunger Games, that one Fortnite player's building structures, type in chat, hey, good job, you're good, you're getting some headshots. You'd be surprised. More often than not, they say, hey, thanks, either they're going to be nice or, sometimes they rub it in, they're a little prideful, but if they're prideful, it makes it that much better to beat them at their own game. So be that positivity, especially in your Discord and everything. So you want to stand up for that positive attitude, those good behaviors and everything, and you want to embrace that, but you don't want to dismiss, the bad. You don't want to ignore it because then it will kind of fester or people will kind of remember it. You want to discredit, like the bad. If someone's really mad at a friend in your Discord, be like, hey, this is good. This is a happy Discord. This is a happy, TeamSpeak call. This is a great Skype call if you still do that. We're having fun. We're playing games. We're getting W's. Even if we're not going to win, let's have fun. Just remind them. Don't call them out. People don't like being called out unless they're being, purposely bad. If they're being, sexist or racist, or they're being, if they're purposely harming someone else's experience, you can say, hey, leave that person alone. Don't bother them. We got to remember that the root of it, we're here to have fun. We're here to build a community or family or friends or relationships, Don't dismiss the bad, but discredit it. You know what I mean? And now this next point I want to move on to, because that's about like being aware and limiting your interaction with toxic or hurtful encounters that could be bad on your mental health. The next one is something, not for everyone, but it's kind of like you within you, is like that game that you're playing does not define who you are. That kind of goes if you're good at it. You don't want to be defined by a game, but if you're having a bad day at a game, if you're not doing good at it, don't attribute that with you being bad or you being subpar or you not being good enough. That's just the game. Pros have their bad days. Normal players have their good days. Every once in a while, you have some losses. You'll get stomped by someone that plays the game more. Doesn't mean they're a better person. It just means they play the game more. Maybe they have better experience, or maybe they have better hardware. So don't attribute those bad games to you. That's just a bad game. You can always have more good games. If you have 6 bad games in a row, doesn't mean that the guaranteed next 6 are bad. It's just that game. You got to take it at what it is. And, you got to remember that even the best people have their losses, and that's something that you can kind of like learn from. Which, that takes us well into my next point that's kind of important, is recognize the purpose of what games are and how that impacts you. Because at the goal of it, games are supposed to be captivating, they're supposed to be fun, and in most cases, they're supposed to be hard and played with other people. If every game was easy and everyone won, no one would kind of want to play it. There's that satisfaction of winning or of overcoming a challenge, of climbing over that goal. And you don't want to... What's the word? You don't want to use games as a sole escape, because you'll have hard games, everything. And if your crutch... And while I understand for some people gaming is that crutch, and it's not really everything... The purpose of games is to be fun and meet other people. There's not just the game, So, it's a good way to disconnect, but it's not the perfect way to disconnect from everything going on. You want to balance. You want to have your mental health, your physical health, and your social health, especially on games, kind of balance each other. Because if 2 of those are doing good, it'll bring up the other, okay? So you don't want to use gaming as your only crutch, because you could hurt yourself, or you could hurt your experience, or you could hurt your time with friends if that game that you're playing is the only way you can have fun. And, with that, if you are playing a game a lot, you don't want to isolate yourself from other experiences. And so... For me, after a long day of work, I love sitting down on my computer, but I like to make sure I have 1 or 2 days that I hang out with. I have one good friend I love hanging out with. I like to go out. We go hike waterfalls. We go cliff jumping. We go outside. We walk on one of our favorite things to do is me and him. We get some French fries or we get a soda and we just walk on the beach, maybe we bring my dog. So you want to have that great. You want to try to build those experience or relationships outside, along with in your gaming community. So you want to diversify. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. And at the end of it, you'll kind of recognize like the purpose of games isn't just to play that game. It's to have fun and make friends and get those W's sometime, but make memories. But it's not the only reason why, and it's not the only escape. Trust me. If that is your escape and you're having trouble finding other things, I totally get you. I've been there, busy at school, busy at work, and you come home, you don't have time to go to the beach. It's 9:00 at night. But try to have that time so that way, you enjoy the games more because you spent time also enjoying this. You're not relying solely on your games. Now, those are the 3 kind of things to avoid, or what, kind of wears us down, or maybe you're having a hard time, is like, like those encounters with those hurtful people. Maybe it's that you're thinking like, if you're not good at a game, you're not good, or maybe you're relying so much on games that they're just not fun, they're not exciting for you anymore. And that the fourth point is going to be more positive, but this is for the people that are having fun or are doing great. If you're in a good position or area or role to help, and you can build those positive experiences, you can encourage those great times, be excited to do it. You're in a position where you can, not only can you have a great time, but you can make other people have a great time. And if your friends are having a great time, chances are you're going to be having an amazing time too. Especially if you're the one that, introduced them to that new game, showed them those new tips, overcame that challenge with them, and then you may be their friend. Like, honestly, you might be someone that they value and they love hanging out with. So if you're in a good position, bring those other up. And nowadays, one point, if like kind of clarify on that, is if you're not drowning, you're in the perfect position to help someone who feels like they are. Because when someone feels like they're drowning, they feel like they're stuck, that they can't get out. That's that's kind of like how drowning is. You feel like that's the end all be all. But especially if you've gotten out of that feeling, like I was at rock bottom once. When you get out of rock bottom, you can remember that you can get out of it. And for me, like, I didn't like sharing that with people, so I kind of had to do it myself, and it was hard. It was months. But now that I'm out of it, I can totally look back, and when someone else is in that position, I can say, hey, you can do it. You can, you give them your hand, you give them your DMs, you play those games with them, you encourage them, you support them, you let them know, hey, I'm there for you, and it helps bring them out quicker than if they were to try to do it themselves. And some people can't do it by themselves, and we don't want that. And if you have the ability to help them, that's the best feeling. And on top of that, though, they're probably not gonna tell you that. If you're having a great time and someone's having a hard time, they don't want to be a Debbie Downer. They don't want to be that person that brings the group down. They're not going to speak up. They're going to be too nervous to break that atmosphere that may be existing. So actively go out to people that even if they seem like they're having a bad day, or they're having a hard time, or they're dealing with the outside world and the news and the politics and the pandemic. If someone's struggling, let them know, like, hey, I know things are going hard. Let me share that burden. Let's play those games. Let's be supportive. Let's talk about things. Let's listen to music together on Spotify or YouTube. Let's watch some Netflix on Netflix party or something. Be that. They're in a position to be that great friend and help them, and they're probably not going to speak up. So you kind of want to dig for it. And in that, if you help them out and you create that strong, supportive friend group, you'll get more friends. You'll have more people that want to attract that. People like going to places they have fun. You go on Twitch, you go on YouTube. People love just flocking to where is fun or happy or positive or something, where they're excited, where they're enjoying themselves, and they're feel like they're experiencing something. And if you build that supportive friend group with those great positive attitudes and that almost healing atmosphere, you guys will have better games, better memories, and everything. And if they are playing games, that's more for you. That's a squad you can play together. That's a memory you can make. That's a W you can get together, a meme you can share, a joke you can all laugh about. Because like, one of my best friends is from 7 years ago, and I met him playing a game called World of Tanks. It's literally just little tanks rolling around a field, shooting at each other until they explode. It's nothing exciting, but we still look back and laugh about the clan wars we did and the tanks we fought, and it's something that we both relate to, and we're still friends 7 years after being on a computer. You think if they would have disappeared. And to end that all, things are hard. Things aren't going well right now, and I want the best for everyone. I want everyone to experience games and laugh and have fun, and just grow together. And that's the best part about gaming, is you could do anything you want. You could play any game. You could be a villain, a hero. You can fly. You can swim. You can drive tanks around rubble. You can be a hero in a post-apocalyptic world. You find out voice lines in a Fallout game or something. Like, you games are so awesome. Let's make this better for everyone, for people in random lobbies, in your Discords, in your Skype calls, your, in your VR chats, in your Minecraft server. Let's remember what gaming is. It's that escape. It's that endless possibilities. And for some people with what's going on, that's your only option. So to end this video, if you're in a position to help, be happy to do it. And if not, reach out in the comments, or join my Twitch and reach out to me. Join my Discord and post some pictures of bread in the bread channel. I wish you guys W's. I wish you guys the deepest happiness from your hearts, and memories to last you the ages, and friends that you can laugh with just as long. My name's Joji, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys around, and if you need help, hopefully I can offer you a hand when you need it. It's been good. And welcome to my YouTube. Have a great night, guys. Stay safe.